Hey guys, Derek had asked me to just do a quick review on AMRS from the other day, and so what we did on the stock was we essentially we bought it at 377, and then we sold our last shares around 417, and this was essentially a PR breakout, and this is on the radar. The Z-Man had brought this to my attention in the morning. And you can see here, right, it had been coiling up for like a long time here, right, in a wide range. And the range is getting tighter and tighter. And we were getting squeezed by two things, right? This moving average that had been riding on top of it, along with this trend line, along with this support that's been building, along with the 50-day moving average. And so kind of like like a pimple, right? You just got to pop it. And so then I had a PR in the morning, and it was gapping up a little bit, and so it was already on the radar, right? And so then what you want to do is, what we do is, we use our intraday charts to really time these things, right? And so what we're doing, if you look here, dun, 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 right? So we know from the daily chart that kind of like that 360, we're looking at the daily chart, right? That three, let me get rid of these lines. That three, see this 360? See how, right here? Tap, tap, tap. That 360 mark was kind of the sweet spot. And so what I'm doing now is using my intraday charts to really kind of, line things up. And so then what happens is, I look at all the different time frames just to kind of understand my levels. And so I know that kind of, all these levels here, we got 365, right? And then 360. These are all kind of very important. So at the open, what happens is when we start spiking over it, right, that's my cue that, this is the wrong chart. Here it is. That's my cue that I want to be. Why is that chart going up? Oh, here it is. So then what I want to use is a smaller time frame to really line things up. And so essentially, once we get the key breakout, we know that it's going to be a go. And so I hit this thing pretty much right at the open. Right at the open when I saw that there was no pulling back on this stock, right? And so you can see here, right, it pops up here, and then, you get another pop to 380, and see how it pops up again and tries to dip, but it doesn't even shake, right? Pops up a little bit, tries to dip, and so we know that this move is real, because a lot of times they'll come back and crash and fill this gap. It didn't do that, and so we hit this thing at 377. Not very many shares, right? Just 3,000 shares. And then, you just start to, ride this thing up. And so as is my, the way I trade, right? I always like to book some profits right away, right? And so we booked some at 390 to take a little bit off the table, right? And get a little bit of a cushion. And then when it spikes up again to 4, right, we take off a little bit more. And then this last spike, to 415 is where I took the last bit of it off, right? So 377 sold the last like 500 at 415. So that's a pretty nice round trip gain. I could have held it a little bit longer. You can see here it also flagged, and we could have entered it on this flag pattern again. So that was probably my one mistake. This is a very powerful continuation pattern here that often will lead to another price bump. And so we could have made, another 25 cents on this thing. This would have been a much easier pattern to play too, as you can see. But I just missed that one probably in the hoopla of the whole day. So quick, easy trade. You see the PR, you see the gap, check your levels, and then you're good to go.